Okay, so we're chatting by popular demand about Instagram Reels. We kind of touched on it in the last episode that we did when we talked about sort of creating content, and it just sort of came up. And we sort of took for granted that everyone knew what it was and how to do it. So I wanted to cover some stuff off. Um, Also, the next Advisors Assemble podcast is all about Reels. It's with Ash Borland. He's got some clients that have got over 1 million views on Reels, and it's a really interesting conversation. So that will be a much longer kind of session, and you get to hear someone else's point of view as well. So that'll be out on Monday, the 8th of August, and I think it is episode 208. But I'll double check that for you. So let's kind of chat about. Let me just make sure we all know what a reel is, because really it's a vertical video, and it's a short video. So I think it's kind of been made popular. TikTok have kind of really it's kind of blown up because people like these short, snappy bits of content shot in by vertical mode. I mean, like on your phone, straight up. Like horizontal is, like a widescreen TV. We're historically used to watching video content horizontally rather than vertically, but with the advent of phones and things like TikTok and Instagram Reels, people are wanting this bite-size content that's almost seconds long, to consume, to get one point across really quickly. YouTube have launched YouTube Shorts, so you can also create little bits of content and have them on multiple platforms. And I've seen some people do really well on TikTok, but really badly on Instagram, and vice versa. Some people just find the platform that works for them. So I don't think there is a which one I should be on. I think it's kind of, you could do it on all of them, and just kind of see what fits for you. Ash has got some thoughts on this. He thinks Facebook at the minute is the best place for mortgage advice and financial advice at the moment. So, cool. Okay, let's go on to the next one. And then if we come back to the first bit of training we ever did about becoming a magnet, I don't think this is the best way to become a magnet, because, and I'll talk through that in a minute, it's more about awareness. I think it's less about getting inquiries. And if we think about what's going on at the minute, loads of people are putting posts and reels out about the interest rate rise. Well, that's great, but if you've never done reels before, you've never done any social before, not really got any traction, and then you want to capitalise on something like a rate rise, you can't really do it without having done the work before. So this isn't like a quick fix, although it is quick and easy to do. Hopefully that makes sense. And also, guys, if you've got any questions as we're going along, just pop them in the chat as well. Okay, so we did a podcast episode before called "Social Media is Sexy, but SEO Pays the Bills," and the reason why I've done the SEO course first is because that's the one where, and even Ash agrees with me, and Ash coaches people on social media. There's nothing better than being on top of Google when someone searches for mortgage advice over having a reel that gets 3 million views. So, and also you need to think about reels and this vertical video content. Most of it is disruptive advertising. So that is what I mean by disruptors is they're not searching or looking for your help. They are doing something else, and your reel will come up in their feed. So you've got to work harder to get someone to take action. Whereas if someone's searching for mortgage advice and then they land on your website and you're talking about mortgage advice, it's easier to convert that into an inquiry than it is someone who's not in that moment looking at it. Okay? Reels have a shelf life, so unless it kind of goes viral, you get those millions of views, it may linger around for a while, but really it may only last for like a week, and it's sort of not going to get any more views unless you kind of share it out yourselves. And consistency is key. So again, on the podcast episode, Ash talks about his successful clients that are doing this, and it's because they've been doing a reel a day every day for months and months and months. So it took lots of work to become an overnight success, which pretty much any sort of marketing you want to do, the SEO stuff, that all takes months and months and months to become an overnight success. So please don't think this is like something that's going to change a business overnight, because it's not. You may get lucky and something might go viral, but really all of the social media platforms are going to want to push your reel out to more people. You're going to have to be more consistent rather than just putting one out there. Okay, so you can use Reels as part of your content SEO strategy. So I touched on this last week, and I think I showed an example. If we go back to creating content for SEO, and we're trying to create thousands of words in an article, these are all answering specific questions. Well, you could reverse that and get all your questions and do a reel on each one, and then when you've done all those reels, then put that into your page. I think I showed you a page last week that I'd been working on, and then I've developed that as time has gone on, and you can embed your reel on your page. So let's have a look. Yeah, in fact, now this particular page that I was working on last week, I've now done another reel a day on it, and I've got loads more content answering all these questions, and I've put the reel in there. I've embedded that Instagram reel on my page. So I'm using social media and my SEO strategy as the same thing. Cool. Okay, right. I'm going to try and get my phone to share my screen, and then we will basically make a reel. Yeah, okay. So I think, is that working? Can everyone see? Yeah, my phone. Okay, cool. So this is dangerous, isn't it? Let's log in. Okay, and then let's create a reel, and then please do ask any questions as we go along. So I'm going to hit I don't know if you can see, but I'm hitting the plus at the top, and then at the bottom you can see I've gone to reel, and I could record something there, but I prefer to sort of film some clips and then put them together after. So you can see here there's some of the reels that I've posted today. I've literally just recorded that video on my phone. You see the bottom left one, I've just recorded those and then put those in as one clip. Or if you're doing multiple clips, like I've literally just before we started, I took some random video clips of plants in my office to create a reel out of those, just to show you an example of putting multiple clips together. So if I basically just tap on that one, and then I can trim the clip here. So if I want it to be shorter or start a bit later on, I can just trim it in there. So you can see it's just going to play that part that I've trimmed it together. So then I can add that, and then again go in, add another one, and just basically put a load of clips together to create a reel in this way. Or I could just use the one. So let's just go, let's put them all in. I'm just going to do it quickly. But like I say, you may just want to do one clip of you speaking, answering a question, and then you're done. So I've added all those clips together, and I'm going to go next, and then basically it's going to play all those as one kind of fluid video. And then, so just if you've done stories before, you get all those options at the top. So I could put my office plants. Not that anyone's interested. I mean, in terms of content, I'm not recommending putting nonsense on stuff like your plants, although I do find my non-work content performs better than my work content, but I don't see a massive benefit in. The only thing I would say about adding things about your personal life is people like to work with people like them, and when they find, if someone's been following you because of your mortgage content or your financial advice content, and then they find out you're into a certain hobby and they are as well, they may find that as a trigger to start a conversation with you, or put in the comments, I'm obsessed with plants as well, which to be fair I've had as well, but I wouldn't just put non-work related content. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, and then you can put music in there. Click on music, you can find a track to put in here that you might find relevant. I could do a voiceover if I wanted as well. So I could record that and put voiceover in and record that by hitting the record button there. I can put or I could put a quiz in here. I suppose with the both stories and reels, if you can encourage people to make comments, so doing something like a quiz or a poll, so like am I too obsessed with office plants? I'll probably get more engagement on this particular reel by asking that question. So the only thing I haven't added in here is captions. So because there's no text in this particular one, I can come back and do that in a minute if you like. Actually, we'll come back and do captions. But if I then essentially go to next, write in what it's about, my office plants. So I'm still testing at the moment. So what I'm finding is I get more views than I do have followers. So it's not just my followers that will see my reel. Instagram will know what my reel is about. So if you're doing something on the interest rate rise or something about mortgage advice, it won't necessarily just go to your followers. It will go to people that have been interacting with similar content. So your caption in here is where you want to kind of explain specifically what your video or your reel is about, because Instagram will pick up, and Facebook as well, they will pick up the text that I put in. So I put when I put the text at the top, my office plants, and the text my question, and the text in my caption, and then if I have office plants in here, this will probably get in front of more, and then you've got office plants of Instagram there. This will probably get in front of more people than my followers, because I've targeted it that way. I'm trying to work out whether adding my location makes any difference or not. Good question from Liz. Can you add a follow button on the reel to increase organic followers? I have not found that, so I'm just going to go back in, and I've not thought about it either. So I think you can pop these in to kind of recommend it. I don't think there's a link that you can put into, but good question, Lewis. And I'm going to ask, I've got a few friends who are like Instagram, like that is all they do. So I will get back to you on that, on Lewis, but I don't think so. But really good question. And to be honest, I've been doing reels for the last few weeks every day. I haven't found a massive increase in followers. But I've certainly reached more accounts. We can have a look at my insights in a second from doing reels. Okay, so literally, I'm going to push that one out there. What I am going to do is, and this came up with my conversation with Ash for the podcast that comes out on Monday, is when it's not work related, I'm not going to share that to my feed. And I'll show you why in a second. So I'm going to share that to reels now. And that is done, and that took me a couple of minutes, and that was explaining what I was doing all the way through. It's even quicker when you just do a video of yourself, because you're literally, let's do that now, once this is posted. Yeah, that's done now. That's on Instagram. Let's do one of me talking.
I wouldn't pay someone to do SEO for a brand new website. I wouldn't pay someone to do SEO for a brand new website, for a brand new domain, for a brand new business straight away, because cash flow is king for a new business. SEO takes for a brand new domain, for a brand new.
Then add the video.
I wouldn't pay someone to
add that. Go to next.
I wouldn't pay someone to do SEO for a brand new website, for a brand new domain, for a brand new business straight away, because cash flow is king for a new business. SEO takes time when it is a brand new domain. You've got to prove to Google that you're a really good source of information. So you could be paying someone out every month, and the needle kind of doesn't move, mainly because of the age. No matter how good they are, there's only so much they can do with a brand new domain. So once your domain has built up some authority over time, then an SEO expert can do much more with it and do much more things with it quicker. So I wouldn't heavily invest in SEO on day one if you're a brand new.
Dragging these across, it gives me the guide, so you can hopefully see where my handle is. My
business, if you're a one-person outfit
really
and
cover that off.
Cash flow is king. I don't think it's
better. You can see these guides are quite handy. Sorry,
see some money.
When you sort of dragging things around, and at the top as well, you can see the lines come up. You want to keep everything within those guides there.
Can learn to do some things yourself that will help build some authority over time, so that when you do hire someone, there's a much bigger impact.
I've already published that reel, so I'm just going to come back. Okay, right. 2 seconds, and the last thing I'll do then is just have a look at the insights on my particular account, just to show you. I didn't really use Instagram a lot before, but if we go into the last 7 days, I've reached 6,000 accounts, but I haven't really increased my followers. If we do the last 14 days from when I've really sort of been using it, yeah, so you can see a 4,000% increase in the amount of accounts that I've reached, but I've only got sort of under 1,000 followers. So it's not just your followers that you're going to get in front of. You're going to get in front of people that are interested in that topic that you're talking about. So it's kind of good if you've got a brand new Instagram account, that you can still potentially get in front of people with a bit of consistency if you're talking about the same thing. And then it's kind of good as well just to check your insights. But if we have a look, some of my most popular stuff is potato picking, vegetable boxes, community garden stuff. But what I did find with some of these things that were non-work related, my followers who are potential clients have commented on talking about it, and we've started talking to each other. So I would sprinkle in some stuff that's unique about you. So I know that Rachel has got a is it an iguana or a gecko? I would still put that non-work related stuff in there, because you might find people start talking to you, an iguana, that's right, talking to you about your non-work related stuff as well. But also I think you do need to sort of prove that you're an expert in your field by doing the work related content as well. Excellent. I think that was kind of everything that I wanted to cover off on Reels. Does anyone have any questions before I stop the recording on that? Was there anything anyone else really wanted to sort of cover off on it? I'll go back to my screen. Ross, put your, if you raise your hand, if you just put it in the chat. Where is the embed code? Oh, sorry, Ross, you'd like to just put it in the chat for us, mate. Question. And then I'm just, while you're doing that, Ross, I'm just going to show Daryl where I can get the embeds, where you can get the embed code from. What I do, Daryl, is if I go to Instagram.com on my desktop, and then I go to my own profile, find the reel that I want to do, and then the 3 buttons at the top right there, embed here. That gives you the code. What I've done is I've taken the caption off, and the caption is the bit where you explain what it is, just so it's kind of just a bit smaller. The best way to explain that is if I so you can see here it's just got the video and the amount of likes, etc., rather than any text that would make it, it's already quite tall as it is. Hopefully, does that make sense? Hope so. Hamal is late, don't worry, mate. We've recorded it. I hope I'm recording it. I am recording, so that's fine. Yeah, Ross, have you got a question? Okay. Is it better to have an Insta account in your own name or your brand and firm name? I've changed my username to a new brand. I'm wondering if that is a mistake. Hardly used Insta before. So really good question. My answer would always be with all kind of social media. Well, I mean, if you were, as you can see, I'm using my personal profile rather than the lead engine. So I do have a lead engine account that I do not use. I believe that people buy from people, and that people will buy into you more than they will your business. So, and I think people like to see faces, people. So, I think Ross McMillan would perform better, miles better on Instagram or Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn than your business, than Bluefish Mortgages. So, I just think people are going to buy into you much more than they will. I haven't seen any companies on any social that don't use a person be really that successful when it comes to financial advice, unless they are like big, huge brands. I think the advantage of being a small business is you're the unique selling point. And so I think show your face as much as possible. It does feel weird, but I think reels are a great way to overcome that, because if we look at this is the original stuff that I did to get myself comfortable in front of the camera, and it's dreadful. If we go, look at my stupid face here. Look. So these Instagram videos are awful, but they helped me become way more confident on video. So just try and do it. I don't think there's any other skill to it than practice, and then if you do it enough, you'll forget the camera's there, and you'll start being able to do things in one take, and you'll stop worrying about it too much. But I know if you've not used Instagram before, you've not done like video stuff before, that it will feel a bit weird. I think you've just got to push through and get that done. Cool. Any other questions at all while you've got me? If not, guys, I did send an email out to a few of you just to ask for feedback, and also just potential topics that you want to cover off. Because if there aren't any other suggestions of topics, we're going to start the cycle again and start from the beginning for the new people. So we'll kind of go through the webinars that we've already done, which may be helpful as a refresh for some of you. But please let us know your feedback as well. If it is so Google News, okay, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, if you can use the feedback form for us, Daryl, and just easier for me to collate the subjects, that'd be great. Thank you, Emma, appreciate that. Excellent. Well, I'm going to stop recording because it looks like we've got no more questions.